So, what do you do when you know you've been low key slacking? When you know you haven't been giving life your absolute all, and you've been making false promises to yourself that you know is just not good for your internal mental dialogue for yourself. Basically, you're being a bitch. And that's my story today. Earlier this year, I told my girlfriend that I would be running a marathon. I told her I will be running a marathon this year. And what I did early in the year was I started training. And within the first week of my training, I really injured my foot. Like, I really, really hurt my foot to the point where it was quite difficult to walk for like about 7 to 10 days. And it happened twice. And then after that, I was like, okay, I give up on this marathon. But you know what? Running a marathon has kind of been it's like one of those bucket list items where you want to check off in your life before you die. From at least from my point of view, it's one of those things that you just have to do, right? I was just watching a YouTube video about Daniel Dalen, and he literally ran a marathon without training. So I was like, if that guy could run a marathon without training, well, then I could too. So what I did was I just signed up for a marathon, and I am 7 weeks out from my first marathon ever. And honestly, I just did it on a whim. I did it because I just did it because I felt like something had to change. Like, I felt like I've been getting really complacent in my diet, my training, and everything's been getting a little boring and monotonous. So I want to spice up not only the content for you, but spice up my own life. I feel like I owe it to myself to live outside of the comfort zone, the the zone that I always tell you to live outside of. Basically, like, as you live on the edge of what you feel is comfortable for you as a man, that's where all the growth happens. So I'm basically doing what I preach. And earlier this year, I didn't. I was basically being untruthful to myself, like lying to myself that, just because you get hurt twice doesn't mean you just give up on the mission, right? That's with anything in life. If you run into some difficult times, it just doesn't mean like give up. It's figure it out. How do you improve? How do you get better so that the mission is still completed? So yeah, that's why I signed up for my first marathon ever. And I used to run 6 miles a day. This was like 7 years ago, probably. How old am I? 33? Yeah. So about 7 years ago, when I was 26, I used to run 6 miles a day when my gym closed down for the trainers. I used to work at Equinox, and they didn't allow us to train within a certain period of time. Basically, when the gym was busy with the guests, we couldn't train. So me not being someone who ever liked running, like who really likes running? Like, most people don't, right? So I was one of those people. And I just didn't like running at all. So, but I had no other choice, right? I had to be in the gym, and at that time, I just had to work out. I was part of the fitness community. I worked at a gym. I was an Equinox trainer, and I just wanted to get fit. Like, it was part of my lifestyle. So I'm excited to get back to it. The most I've ever run in my life is 13.1 miles, which is a half marathon. A full marathon is 26.2. And honestly, I'm a little, I wouldn't say afraid, but it was more so like I just jumped into it, which I do a lot in life. I just jump into things. And this is one of those things that the unknown is on the other side. Like I have no clue what it feels like to run past 13.1 miles. And even 13.1 miles is like pretty grueling. Right now I have an injury. So I'm still not feeling the best at the moment, but I know I needed to do something. I needed to change. And the beauty of throwing yourself into the fire is that you have these it removes, I guess, the mental limitations of what you have to do. Like, for instance, I have to dial in my nutrition for the next 7 weeks. Like, I have to, right? I have to get lighter, right? Like, currently, I'm 160 pounds. Me running 26 miles for on 150 pounds is not going to be easy. I have to train for the next 7 weeks. I have to dial in my nutrition. I have to get the best sleep possible for the next 7 weeks if I'm going to basically not suffer through 26.2 miles. So I'm really excited about this. I don't know, as you can tell. Um, yeah, I kind of just thrown myself into this. I have a friend who has run a few marathons, and I will basically look for him for training, for guidance. And this message is basically to encourage you, whatever it is that you've been thinking about or you're putting off. Well, then I want this to be an invitation for you to step outside of your comfort zone, for you to live up to your potential, for you to throw yourself into the unknown so that you can get the most out of your life, your business, your health, your relationships, whatever it is that you are waiting on or putting off or procrastinating on, or whatever you are basically not starting because you don't know what is on the other side. This is your invitation to just do it. Just fucking do it. And if you have any questions, if you um, need help with anything in terms of health, wellness, fitness, drop a comment below, or the link in the bio is for my coaching, as well as, yeah, that's it. Let me know. And thanks for listening. Cheers. I'll see you on the next one.